and we want the fans out of their seat. We want to score goals. We want to give them, momentum on our side, and then on the flip side is when we don't have the ball, is it we got to be dogs.
On the back post run. Doesn't stop and stand still. Instead, does all the dirty work for himself.
Hey everybody, welcome to Afterburn Soccer Show. Right now it's me, solo, with you all. Thanks for joining us on this unusual Tuesday night at a slightly different time. Hoping for Jose and Colin to jump on here in just a moment. As they get things going and to share some feedback, share some thoughts about this upcoming week, a huge week for FC Dallas. Oh, in fact, here he is. Here's the man with the plan.
Hey,
Jose,
sorry
welcome.
about that. I'm blinding everybody here.
Yeah, and it's a little it's just a little unusual. I was just saying a little unusual. My name is Nathan Hill, by the way, everybody. Just going live here. You can follow me at Afterburn Soccer on Twitter, and of course afterburn.soccer, our Substack site. And Jose, you can follow him at El Chico Carmona on Twitter, on X. Thanks for joining us, Jose. Colin may get on here in a moment. Hopefully he does. But a different day. We're normally on Mondays. Sometimes that doesn't happen. But it's kind of nice to do this ahead of two big matches for FC Dallas this week. I mean, huge matches. With two teams above them in the table. Points to be had. It's going to be a tough week, but the team's rested. They've been practicing, and so hey, there's no excuses. Hopefully, some healthy bodies as well out there. Of course, we'll talk about North Texas a little bit later as well. Say hello, hey Chris. Thanks for tuning in on the show.
Hey, what's up, Chris?
Yeah, so of course, we'll talk about North Texas here in a bit, but let's just start with this week ahead. Let me see if I can share my screen. I pulled up, I still figuring out this software. Yeah, okay, there it is. Let's see if that works. A little glimpse there of my web browser and the standings here in the Western Conference, and with a big games ahead, and here I'll move my our little video thing over. But so Dallas is sitting in 10th place, 21 points, not at all where they want to be, especially with a lot of home games dropped, more points on the road gained. But so right away on Wednesday night, tomorrow night, they welcome San Jose Earthquakes to town, and San Jose, in the midst of a rebuild with a new head coach, actually surprising a lot of people, are playing well, certainly have dropped some games themselves, but are able to score goals, and sitting just 2 points ahead of Dallas. So Dallas comes out, they get a win at home tomorrow night. Suddenly Dallas is back in that playoff, the bottom of the playoff positioning, but that's kind of where they want to be. And then on the weekend, it's San Diego coming to town for the first time in their franchise history. And FC Dallas has a little revenge work to do after getting drubbed 5-0 in San Diego. But look at where San Diego is. They are not a joke. They are a well-put-together team, a well-coached team, almost catching up there with Vancouver Whitecaps, who have been running away with things for the first part of the season. But hey, credit to San Diego for a great roster, great players, great performance. It's going to be a tough one this weekend, but that's what we're looking ahead to. So it could be 2 home wins, and suddenly Dallas is at 27 points, and they're flirting outside of that top 4, top 5. I know there are other teams playing too, but there's possibilities to make up a big swing of ground here in the standings. So let's just start with this Jose, how confident are you feeling about this team having a lighter June, getting rested, getting some healthy guys going, getting some extra practice, maybe some time to lighten the stress load a little bit. How confident are you feeling going into tomorrow night's match against San Jose for FC Dallas?
Not as confident as I'd like to be. I mean, with FC Dallas home form being abysmal, and San Jose and San Diego both coming in red hot. Uh, it's. I wish I could say my confidence was through the roof, but it's not. I am hopeful though. The return of Leggett has a lot to do with that. This team just looks like a different team with him on the field, and the nervousness really comes from the fact that uh, we're going to have to start either our Portuguese, uh, rookie center back, or we're going to have to start Abubakar next to Biaga. So that's right there. That's what has me concerned. Is yes, the kid looked good, but he's still a kid. He's going to be playing against better opposition, and then you got Abubakar, who, let's face it, he looks great for stretches of the game, but is known for his blunders. And he may only do one or two the entire game, but they'll be costly. And so that's one of those two have to start. That's really what really gets me concerned. But yes, Leggett looked great. Um, but he was like he wasn't 90 minutes ready, and with two games so close, I feel like he probably won't be able to go 90 minutes, or he shouldn't go 90 minutes Wednesday if you want to have him available for the next week. So yeah, I got some concerns, but I'm hopeful that the team will find a way to break this home form and get back on the roll. And honestly, if they can do that against these two opponents, they'll be sending a message that, hey, we are legit. Because let's face it, with their road form, if they can get that home form straightened out, then we go from being a team fighting to get to the playoffs to a solid middle of the table team, and solid middle table team is a playoff team.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know if we want to read into this too much in the tea leaves, but Augusto Alvaro was featured in the pre-match media video availability. So they interviewed him for it. Of course, they're all in Portuguese. It's hard to translate on the channel for us, but might be a little hint that they're feeling good, that he's had some good practice, and he's going to feature in some way. Of course, I don't want to read too much into that to suggest he's going to start, or anything like that. But
No, but
yeah,
you have to feel that he's in for some minutes, whether he starts or not, because of the the short turnaround between the games, and you're gonna want to keep your backline fresh. So even if he doesn't start, they're gonna have to give him minutes to give the other guys some rest. So yeah, I think if he doesn't start, we'll still see him off the bench at some point in one match, and who knows, maybe in both. Maybe he's given a start, considering the team looked really good, so they might try to roll out the same lineup. If that's the case, then I could see him starting.
yeah, might want to build a little consistency off of
Yes.
that. Well, here, really quick, let's jump over. I did pull a couple of clips from the pre-game media stuff. Here is Bernie Kamungo talking with Edwin Pintor, the nice FC Dallas media guy, friend of the show. He has a little funny slip up in the language that I wish he played with, but just a little clip about how the team is looking at these home games, being rested, knowing what's ahead.
Yeah, definitely. As you can see, we just finished training, so we're working to make sure we win every point at home. So, yeah, we're excited. I'm sure it's gonna be a lot different now because everyone is angry. I mean, hungry. Everyone is just ready to win every game.
Everyone is angry,
Hey,
hungry,
I
both.
think we would be happy if the team was angry and plays angry. I mean, that's what we'd love to see. We'd love to see an angry, excited team out there instead of the team that looks, like, they're sad they had to get out of bed that day and get
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
field. I mean, they look at home. They look like I feel when I have to go to work. It's like, oh man, I got to go to work. That's what they look like at home. It's like if we could see some of that dog that we see on the road. Every time they're on the road, just a taste of it at home. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, and we won't know the injury report. I mean, I'm hoping
Yeah, I agree,
Paxton
Chris.
is back and ready to go. Yeah, Chris, and I agree with you. And of course, Osaze out with the injury, but hopefully, I haven't heard anything yet to see if he's back in practice. Some other folks may have reported on that today, and I just couldn't dig it up. So hopefully, yeah, they just have more options and can rotate some guys. And yeah, I hope Alvaro gets some more minutes. Just he deserves it. It was interesting that John Gall, in my little video clip I shared last week, when I asked him about Alvaro's kind of debut and his strong performance, and Gall was just, of course, glowing. But Gall said, well, he is an established first-team guy, which could be another little hint that we expect to see him get more minutes
Yep.
as things unfold and everything. But let's jump over now to Eric Quill. His thinking about sort of the momentum they're trying to build in this match tomorrow night.
That's not how I take the momentum. It's how we take the momentum. And the guys, hopefully, winning gives confidence to groups, and we're looking for win streaks. I mean, that's what we're striving for. So, we got a great opponent coming in who scores a lot of goals, who's well coached, and we've got to maximize our homestand here. So, I'm hoping that winning Kansas City gives us a belief to ourselves, but we get that's behind us, and we've got to sort of put our first step forward and making sure that we're unbeatable here at home.
I like it. I like this coach. I mean, his language is right on. I mean, the results haven't necessarily been there yet, but as far as, hey, it's not about my momentum, or it's us. It's all of us together building that momentum to move things forward and sort of turn the narrative. He believes in his guys, and so that's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing in a league in a season where they've had those ups and downs, and some coaches might turn away from guys and shove guys to the bottom of the bench, but Quill still believes in this group of guys and believes in what they can do, and so the work is clear. The work ahead of them is they've got work to do, to turn that, especially this home form. It's just the weirdest thing, because normally. Well, I guess it hasn't been quite that much the past couple of years, but Frisco, especially during the summer, has been just a fortress. And so this is not a narrative, I think, it's sustainable for any coach who wants to win with the FC Dallas organization to get this kind of poor performance. We love the road performance, but gosh, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work in this league or any league, I guess. But it'll be interesting to see how they kind of, and he highlights too, of course, Bruce Arena, MLS legend, U.S. coaching legend. We get tired of him. We get tired of seeing him on the sidelines. But everywhere he goes, he turns things around, other than maybe the United States men's national team. But he goes up to New England. He gets them into just incredible form. I think wins the Supporter Shield up there. Goes to San Jose and takes this roster that looks like it's very incomplete, and he gets some life out of them, gets contributions from all over the place. So it's gonna be a tough battle for FC Dallas. But I'm hoping that win against Sporting Kansas City just has them feeling that extra bit of confidence that maybe they've lacked, that they don't come into it with that little sense of hesitation.
I think that and the rest combined with people coming back, I think that's a good combination overall. And you want to go into a break like that off a win and feeling good about yourself, and I think that's a good thing. And yeah, I mean, it's San Jose. They run that 3-man back line, and they got Arango up top. He's got 9 goals on the season, as far as I can tell, and they got old Joseph Martinez coming off the bench, or getting the occasional start, and he's their second second leading scorer with 7 goals, and he's the guy who's had good days against Dallas. So
Mm.
so I'd be worried about him, especially if they bring him out in the second half, with fresh legs to run at Dallas. Yeah, the defense needs to basically uh, find its footing early and keep San Jose from scoring. Only one loss in their last 10 matches,
Mm.
and that was against St. Louis like 2 games ago. But before that, they were on an 8 match unbeaten run. So, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
they're a team that comes in pretty confident, and if anything, they'll be a well coached team, and not something we can say we've been well coached the entire season. We've have a rookie manager who has managed like a rookie at times, and hopefully that's behind him, and he can
yeah.
start showing us what the future holds for this team.
The As we think about Saturday, the game against San Diego, again, the first time they're coming into play in Frisco in their franchise history, and again, you respect Bruce Arena for what he's doing at San Jose, and you respect Mikey Varas for what he's doing at San Diego as well, and another FC Dallas connection there. But in their inaugural season, to be in contention like this is just a phenomenal work. It's an entire organization. But only positive thing too about that is while yes, it's a 2-game week for FC Dallas, both games are at home. San Diego is flying up to Vancouver, and then we'll fly down to Dallas, and so that might boost FC Dallas's chances a little bit, especially if they can get a win tomorrow night, feeling extra confident and really kind of zap those San Diego legs in the Frisco heat. So some might be something that we want to watch for, which has been fascinating, by the way, Jose, with this Club World Cup going on, and the
Yeah,
number of European teams complaining about the heat, and it's like 80 degrees. You're like,
yes, it's a little ridiculous, really. Come on now. But it's the European teams. You don't hear any of the South American teams,
right.
uh, or Mexican teams complaining about the weather. They probably think it's gorgeous outside. I just say it's only and mind you, um, it could just be that they're using this as an excuse for their very poor performance. I mean, you, you would think MLS, and only getting one team into 16 would be a big talk since they host. But let's face it, there was no expectations on MLS to even put a team into the knockout. So the fact that the European clubs are struggling and being eliminated and complaining about the heat, it just looks bad on them. It makes them look like they're coming up with excuses.
Yeah.
They expected to come here and basically walk over everybody. And the South American teams said, "Here, hold our beer. We're gonna show you what we got and why you guys are always trying to scour our teams for players." And frankly, I would say I won't say that I watched the first couple of you know uh, the first week of the World Cup. Once it got going and I started to see here, hey, you're missing out. There's a lot of good games, and then I started paying attention. And yeah, so far, yes, I am enjoying what I'm seeing, and I'm telling you, this is telling me, and it should be telling MLS that, hey, look at the quality of oppositions down in South America. We need to find a way to get down there, games down there, Libertadores or Sudamerica, something, because better opposition is going to improve the play in this league. And I know people will come up with excuses. Oh, you guys this that. Forget it. Who cares if we go down there and get torched? You gotta start somewheres. You gotta start somewheres, and you gotta raise the level of opposition, and and show these owners that, hey, you need to loosen up the purse strings and increase the roster sizes, and to be considered. So people will start taking you seriously as a big time league.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go down there and do it against the Argentinians and the Brazilian teams.
I had the same kind of I think I've caught a couple of Club World Cup kind of matches here um, over the years. Just when but it always seems like it came at a weird time, and it was like a preseason. Teams were not bringing out their stars; they were giving other guys minutes, and it just had that feel. And so I have been pleasantly surprised as well by some of the competitiveness and the heart, and some of the European teams who maybe haven't taken it so seriously, getting embarrassed a bit. By some great performances, including like Messi doing Messi things. It's been fun. Of course, South American teams going like, hey, we want this, and the intensity and the fans. It's been great. It's been really fun to watch. It's been a feast, and then you have the Gold Cup as well, which has been fun.
It's
Shout
been
out to
like I
Chris
don't know. It's been
Richards.
like the redheaded stepchild as far as I'm concerned. It's like I think the club World Cup's kind of stolen its thunder in all honesty, and frankly, why are you running it simultaneously with the Club World Cup? I mean, it's just ridiculous.
But good for those guys getting a minute, especially some of these B team kind of tier guys in MLS who are getting some opportunities to make a case. But so give a shout out to Chris Richards, FC Dallas
Yeah,
Academy legend, is making a case that he's
I never I
good
never
use.
got the whole U.S. United States men's Twitter fandom or social media fandom complaining about MLS players. You have to mine your league for talent. That this you have to give MLS players a chance to make the national team. You got to give them a chance to show you what they got because you want some of these players to go to Europe. Well, getting minutes on the men's national team facilitates that. It gets them noticed by teams in Europe, and the guys that are, you know, uh, you're complaining about getting minutes today will be the guy that you're cheering for because he plays in Europe tomorrow. So I don't get this social media fandom. They're ridiculous. You should be given you should be bringing in your European big time players for the big games. Every other game after that, you should be going to your national league and trying to find out who the stars going of the future are going to be.
Mhm. Yeah, we need that depth, but yeah, it's been
Chris isn't wrong.
yeah. I, and I'll say this: United States men's national team, yeah, they haven't played well in this opening, but they won the group. They've had those games where you need to do when you win CONCACAF games, which is that 1-0 gutsy. You find the header and then you just see the game out. I mean, that's how you do it in some of these games. But they have built. I think they've improved bit by bit. Not saying they're where they need to be, but that's also the thing I think you want to look for is a young team like this.
Yeah,
Can they? Yeah, can they endure the mistakes? Can they grow? Can they get a little bit better? And let's see how it comes out. Though I'm not holding my breath. That we'll see.
one funny thing that I've gotten from the U.S. men's national team, the way they're playing and stuff is, and I don't know where I heard this, and I heard it multiple times. Was basically people saying that they're looking for the team to find their next Pirate of the Caribbean, because that was, let's face it, that was started as a moniker to insult Jesus. But let's face it, you should have a player like that can torch these teams that you're supposed to torch. And instead, you're seeing our forwards struggling and looking miserable at times, and you're like, you got a guy like Jesus who's proven that he can torch teams like this. Okay, if you're not going to bring him, you need to find out who the next guy is because those guys have their usages.
Hmm.
Even if you think that they're not going to help you in the World Cup, there's players that'll help you win these tournaments. They don't have to be your star going forward, but you need to know who your number two team is, and you need to have your guys that can come in and give you valuable minutes, even if they're not going to start for you in the big games. And I think that's something that people don't appreciate is there's players to be had like that, whether playing in MLS or Liga MX or some smaller league. Give those guys minutes. See if you can find that guy. See if you can find that next Pirate of the
Hmm.
Caribbean that
Yeah.
hey, laugh about it all you want, but you know, you wouldn't be complaining about these 1 goal wins. You'd be complaining about, you know, these guys aren't tough enough and we beat them by X. I'd rather have that than have what we have right now.
Well, let's shift over real quick to North Texas before we wrap up the show. They had a 2-game road trip. First to Rapids 2, then to Whitecaps 2. And really, the Rapids 2 game, especially after 2 losses, was at least was positive. There were lots of positives. It was a draw, and then they kind of carried the momentum. North Texas did, and won the penalty kick shootout. Big credit to Sam Sarver once again, just really playing well and being confident, and kind of setting the tone that the team needed. And so while they probably wanted and deserved all 3 points on the road in that game, I think 2 points after coming off of 2 straight losses was welcome. Was a welcome shift. But then against the Whitecaps, in what was a wild match, a fun one,
Shootout.
Yeah, shootout. A late goal sent the Whitecaps up 4-3, and unfortunately, North Texas did not get any points and felt pretty disappointed in that, pretty frustrated. At least a point. They felt like they should have had at least a point, but it comes down to those individual defensive mistakes that head coach John Gall keeps calling out. Just those moments with this young team that's just not present enough, not locked in enough, learning moments. So disappointing. Really quick, let's jump over to nice little highlight there is Josh Torquato getting his first goal. Here's some media that a little video that the North Texas team shared today on their Twitter.
Yeah, it was a good shot from Tony, and luckily I was there to follow it up and just tap it in, and it was good that I got to put the team up 1-0 and help us in the game. And that was pretty much a simple goal, but I was glad to make my first pro goal. That's it.
Congratulations, Torquato, not only getting his first senior team debut, but then also his first goal for North Texas. Nice positive moment for the youngster that we hope to grow. I mean, I'm of 2 minds about these 2 matches, Jose. On one hand, 2 away games in a row, you're probably gonna lose one. It's just hard. It's just hard in any league, and being on the road for that long. But there were lots of positives. I think scoring is still when this team comes alive offensively, they're going to be great. Defensively, they probably have missed Alvaro. I mean, I don't know, but it hasn't looked just those individual mistakes, and that's a sign of a young team that's still figuring things out. So I'm on both minds. One, it's a disappointing end to that. Maybe they should have come away 3 points at least from those 2 matches. But you came out with 2 points from 2 away matches, tough places to play against 2 very good teams. Maybe it's not so bad. Maybe you take your lumps and you keep trying to build for a strong finish to the season. What were your thoughts on this?
I mean, it's just middle of the season, and this team, they played a lot of young players. They're missing players that are helping the senior team. It's growing pains. I didn't see anything that would make me panic. I mean, I don't expect them to return to to defend their title this year, but I think they are right where we thought they'd be, right in the middle of the playoff chase, and having their ups and downs. And you know what? They're an entertaining team to watch, and that's it gets me excited to watch them win or lose. They're always fun to watch, and I have no complaints about those losses. I watched that 4-3 loss, and let me tell you, man, that was the only thing I didn't like about that match was the commentator. he had a very slight bias for the home team, and I mean he was doing his best not to show it, but he had just little snide comments like, North Texas, you see their players hanging their head down after that goal, and then North Texas goes back and scores a goal quickly. And it's like, come on, man, don't be doing that stuff. They're not, this game, no team on either side's hanging their heads. He was just making little comments like that. They were just kind of like, come on, man, you're doing so good. Actually, the Scott, he's coming off that really bad injury, and honestly, injury like that, we're glad to have him back, but he's looking like a player who's coming off a big injury, who's just simply not as explosive or as confident as he was before the injury. Sometimes it takes a year or two to for a player to come back from that, and it shows. You see him out there, and you're like, man, this is not the same player from last year. I'm happy to have him back. I'm happy he's out there because he needs to have a season like this to get back to where he was. But you can tell, yes, that they're missing that. If it wasn't for Sarver, man, where we'd be getting our goals from.
Yeah. And Sangare, I guess Sangare is injured at the moment. I mean, it's just, and they were hoping that he'd be one of those guys to sort of hold down that.
Yeah. There's still a hole there. I mean, I think they played Baran some there. They have some young talent, but it's very inconsistent. Scott's coming off the major injury. Baran's still pretty young. The English guy, he's injured. It's okay. It's middle of the season. They still have time to work it out, and they still have time to gel. And I'm confident that they'll rebound and become a serious threat.
All right. Well, I need to leave it there. I've got a heart out here, so I appreciate Jose jumping on with me. And I know we're hoping to see Colin, but I think
one last thing. Congratulations to the FC Dallas U23 squad, who are now top of their conference. They played Austin FC U20, the U23 squad, and Austin came in with a 17 goal differential, while FC Dallas U23 came in with only a 7 goal differential, and now FC Dallas has a 13 goal differential.
Oh, wow.
So they just crushed them, and they're just running a roughshod over that league.
All right. Well, good stuff. Congratulations to the U23s. Lots of soccer to enjoy. Gold Cup, Club World Cup. Take advantage of it. And, of course, 2 FC Dallas games this week.
I missed the Auckland game. I heard Auckland tied Boca. Wow, that's insane. That's a semi-pro team right there. That's like a I don't know a
The goal scorer is a school teacher. You had to ask off.
yeah.
This
Is great.
Story.
I'm sad I missed that game.
The future movie right there. All right.
That's right.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you all. Of course, watch Afterburn.soccer and subscribe to the podcast. Listen to the podcast. It should be up tomorrow morning. And look ahead for an interview with Mo Cisse later this week. We'll be posting as I get a chance to speak with the